It's Ghana month. Indonami, you're welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM. Affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, we are on Kekeli Radio in Ho, A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bolgatanga. We are on Jatai FM in Kraga, Pad FM in Damango. We are live on X Spaces. We are on Facebook. We are on myjoyonline.com. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrol Sol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Sol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDP pipes and water tank. We are the only water storage tank with a level indicator. Where Duraplus goes, water always flows. Coming up,
and I'd like to say a big sorry. I have to apologize for what has happened in the past few days.
Electricity Company of Ghana apologizes for recent power outages, promising normalization of supply starting today.
Tumso is not back, and this is a maintenance issue. We suffered a maintenance setback. As a company, we are not that callous that we will be going into a load shedding and we will not give a timetable for everybody to plan their lives. No, not at all.
And as power is restored to Parliament House after yesterday's disconnection over a 23 million cedi debt, the ECG says it's going after state institutions yet to pay for power consumed. Also this afternoon, the United States is threatening aid restrictions on Ghana following passage of the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill.
If this bill becomes law, it would certainly have a chilling effect on foreign investment and tourism in Ghana. You've seen that same chilling effect bear fruit in Uganda. Should the bill pass, it would potentially have ramifications on U.S. assistance in the country.
We'll get to hear from the U.S. State Department spokesperson. Meanwhile, Shraj vows legal action at the Supreme Court if the president signs the bill into law.
I work with these people and I know that where they are suffering.
Will you join civil society, which is now threatening that they may head to the Supreme Court?
We will be close to joining such groups or even taking the lead.
And after months of investigation into alleged illegal mining activities of Akunu Dake mines belonging to the NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Wuntumi, the Attorney General says he is yet to be served with a docket for prosecution.
I have not seen any video. Indeed, I think that if indeed there's such a video, then it will be, with all respect, a little bit irresponsible on the part of the media for them not to even furnish me with a video.
You're saying I've not come across...
Yes, no docket has been presented to me in respect of Akunu Dake mining.
And their sports.
Ghana's search for a boxing slot at this year's Paris Olympic Games continues, with 7 boxers set to compete at this weekend's Olympic qualifier.
And later, 10 years after the Brazil fiasco, former Youth and Sports Minister Elvis Ifriankra opens up on the $3 million cash saga.
Unless we see physical cash
before they will
train.
And that broke you.
So we took the money to them, and you saw them, they were kissing the money. You saw them, you saw the videos.
We have more as he wants no player must be allowed to hold the country to ransom. You want to stay for that and more here on the Midday News. I am Emefa Apau. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Please stay on. Many thanks for your company and expect power supply to normalize starting from today. That's the assurance coming from the Electricity Company of Ghana following the recent power outages that affected its catchment areas. The situation has been blamed on obsolete equipment and the inability of the country to buy crude oil to power these power plants. The minority in Parliament yesterday warned the energy sector could collapse if steps are not taken to fix the problem. We can listen to the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee, John Jinapo.
And it appears, based on information available to us, that the power sector is collapsing. Since 2nd February, we are talking of about 1 month now, there have been persistent and consistent load shedding by the generation companies. Indeed, the load shedding is getting worse by the day. The very day His Excellency the President was delivering the State of the Nation address and boasting, at that very period, the utility companies were shedding load. The situation appears to be exacerbating.
But the managing director of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Samuel Dubik Mahama, is denying the claim, insisting the outages resulted from unscheduled maintenance work undertaken by SunPower.
And I'd like to say a big sorry. I have to apologize for what has happened in the past few days. I know there's been a lot of speculation. There's been a lot of, we've allowed for a space to happen for people to try to plug into the narrative. But the truth of the matter is, Most of the narratives out there are all wrong. We are doing our best not to play politics with this matter. When you're doing a supply outlook, you have to look at the power plants that are available and all of that, because you always have to make a blend so that some of them can have their maintenance works done. We had a good plan that we were working on until we were hit by an emergency. And it was an emergency gas valve that couldn't shut down. And it's gas. You have to be very, very careful. So it plunged us into a deficit for power supply. It happened at about 4 p.m. and we were hoping that, it could be fixed faster than that. And as typical as we went into our moods, we kept on listening to the engineers and we played ourselves out of time to be able to speak to the narrative. I would like to take this opportunity to say Dumso is not back. And this is a maintenance issue. We suffered a maintenance setback because, the funny thing is everybody knows about ECG, but most people don't know that it's a value chain starting from the generator through the transmitter to ECG. So for ECG, what is given to us is what we distribute. So we take full responsibility for the communication gap. We are working on making sure that now we become more proactive with the communication part of things so everybody can plan ahead. But it is not doing so. As a company, we are not that callous that we will be going into a load shedding and we will not give a timetable for everybody to plan their lives. No, not at all. It was a maintenance issue that got out of hand, and we are sorry about that.
That's the managing director of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Samuel Dubik Mahama. Well, we know that the Electricity Company of Ghana yesterday disconnected Parliament of Ghana from the national grid over a 23 million cedi unpaid bill. Power this morning, we are told, has been restored. I'll take you live to Parliament shortly. But the managing director of ECG, Samuel Dubik Mahama, says they are going after state institutions owing them.
As for the revenue mobilization exercise, we can't stop. All of these are aimed at reducing our commercial losses. So we are putting boots on the ground. And we also want to be able to have the moral story that all the requisite state institutions have paid their bills. So the average person doesn't have an excuse not to pay. Before this exercise, we embarked on this exercise again. We had a good chat with the presidency. And I must say a big thank you to His Excellency, because I can say on authority that the Office of Government Machinery and a few sensitive others have paid their bills in full as we speak, and so it's just a routine exercise for the company to reduce its commercial losses. Yes, power has been restored. They made more than half of the payment to us, and power has been restored. And we agreed on a few other modalities for the balance to be paid.
Well, let's bring in our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent, Kweku Asante, on the power situation in Parliament. Kweku, so we're told that Parliament had managed to pay 13 million, outstanding 10 million. I'm sure you've been finding out when exactly Parliament hopes to settle the rest of the debt.
Well, for this morning, that issue has come up on the floor, and according to Governor Kwame Abuja, Parliament does not generate any internal fund. If they are unable to pay their bill, it is because the Finance Ministry and the Executive have failed to remit to them their budget, and so they believe that the ECG must be stopped in its tracks in the continuous disconnection of Parliament when it comes to this issue. But Parliament is working that within the next few weeks they will be able to settle part of the debt. The message about Dumso has come up quite strongly on the floor this morning. The minority have been demanding that the Energy Minister, Matthew Poku Prempeh, be brought before the House to answer questions on why the country is being plunged into darkness every now and then. The majority leader believes those are legitimate questions, but as far as he is concerned, and the answers he has gotten from the Energy Ministry and some sources, the country is just facing some challenges. It is not just doom so like the minority who want to put out.
But away from the power concerns, we know that the debate on the State of the Nation address continues this morning. What are we to expect this afternoon, I should say?
We understand the focus will largely be on the education sector because the minister himself has started the debate this morning for the majority side. He's touting what he believes government has done in the education sector, especially free SHS, which was rehashed by the president in the statement. We expect also shortly that the minority will respond to those claims.
That's Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kwekwasan. To do well to join him later at 6 p.m. with Ghana Connect right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, following sharp divisions on the passage of the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill, the United States has issued a warning signaling potential constraints on foreign aid to Ghana. This caution comes as President Akufo-Addo deliberates on signing the bill into law, which will criminalize LGBTQ plus activities. The bill approved by Parliament on Wednesday imposes strict penalties, including imprisonment on individuals identifying as gay and those supporting LGBTQ plus activities. Well, with penalties escalating to 5 years. Now, the severity of these legal measures has prompted international concern, leading the U.S. State Department voicing concerns. Matt Miller is spokesperson.
So we have made very clear what our opinion is on that law. You can look at my statement yesterday, and we have made that clear in private conversations with the government of Ghana as well. I don't think I should get any more specific than that. But if this bill becomes law, it would certainly have a chilling effect on foreign investment and tourism in Ghana. You've seen that same chilling effect bear fruit in Uganda, which passed a very similar law in the past. And I can say that should the bill pass, it would potentially have ramifications on U.S. assistance in the country.
But international relations expert Ishmael Holovo believes the U.S. will not be as harsh with Ghana as they were with fellow African nation Uganda when they passed a similar law. He spoke on the Pulse.
The Ghanaian law looks remarkably different from a place like Uganda, because in the Ugandan case, some of the punishment in that law include death punishment. So if you look at from the beginning, the concerns that have been raised by various groups that have been integrated into the law, the Ghanaian law appears to be a little bit more moderate. So we may not expect the level of sanctions, the level of punishment that they meted out to Uganda, for example, where the World Bank will stop additional funding for certain projects, and the U.S. Department will consider sanctions and even taking them off AGOA. The Ghanaian law appears to go through a lot of consultation. Therefore, some of the harsher punishment, as it were, have been watered down. But having said that, it is tempting on the party to try and stop this trend of African countries enacting laws to halt the development of what they perceive as human rights. So we may not actually have direct sanctions, but there are indirect ways of sometimes cajoling nations into some of the things that they want to do.
Well, that's Ishmael Holovo there speaking to Elton Brobe on the Pulse. You want to catch it at 3 p.m. on the Joy News channel, also on all our social media platforms. Well, the opposition continues against the bill, and the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, has warned of legal action if President Akufo-Addo approves the bill. Commissioner Joseph Whittal says his outfit will even lead the charge to the Supreme Court if the President gives the green light. He's been speaking to my colleague Blessed Soga.
Let all opinions in a democracy be heard. These are people who are living in shadow. How can they give the evidence and put themselves out there? Sometimes let's be realistic. I work with these people and I know the way they are suffering. So how do you say it's about our culture? Are they not Ghanaians too? They went somewhere and got this. Long before Sam George was born, there have been homosexuals in Ghana. This is part of our tradition. We can't just get up and throw them out and say, we don't need them, we need our culture. Your culture gave birth to these people. You need to protect them as well.
I'm just wondering what you intend to do if the president then gives his assent to this bill. Will you join civil society, which is now threatening that they may head to the Supreme Court over this matter?
It's early days yet, but I can imagine that we will be close to joining such groups or even taking the lead.
That's Joseph Whittal, is the SHRAJ commissioner there. Well, there's been more reactions pouring on social media, and my colleague Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson joins me in studio. We have the latest from the IMF. They've been commenting on this development. What does it say? I'm curious.
Indeed, the IMF has stated its vigilance regarding recent developments in Ghana, especially concerning this bill. And in a statement issued from their headquarters in Washington, the fund has underscored its commitment to values of diversity and inclusion. They're stating that that such principles are embraced within the institution. I quote, he says, diversity and inclusion are values that the IMF embraces. Our internal policies prohibit discrimination based on personal characteristics, including but not limited to gender expression, or sexual orientation. Like institutions, diverse and inclusive economies flourish, end quote. So that's the IMF stance on this matter, and they say they'll be observing, events as it unfolds, and then take actions from there.
Thank you very much, Mamiesi. Now, on the other hand, the ranking member on Parliament's Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee, Bernard Ahiafo, has rebuffed assertions that the newly passed bill infringes upon media freedom and the right to free speech. In an interview with Rosemond A on Upfront, Mr. Ahiafo clarified that the bill primarily targets the funding and promotion of LGBTQ activities which are deemed illegal.
The bill proscribes funding, promotion of the illegal LGBTQ activity.
Okay.
So if you are involved in promoting, in funding the illegal activity, then it means it is then that you will be caught by the law.
That's the ranking member on the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament, Bernard Ahiafo, there speaking on Upfront on the Joy News channel. Now, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Godfrey Adame, says he's yet to be served with a docket covering investigations into alleged illegal mining activities of Akunta mines belonging to the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Ntribwesi, a man we known as Chairman Wontumi. The Criminal Investigation Department of the Police in June last year started investigations on a petition filed by the Media Coalition Against Galamsey following claims Akunta Mining was mining gold at the Tafu Nimri Forest Reserve in the Western region. Now, according to the ministry, even though Akunta Mining Limited had a mining lease to undertake mining operations in some parts of Samarboy outside the forest reserve, the company had no right to undertake any mining operations in the Tano Nimri Forest Reserve. The Attorney General, Godfrey Adame, tells host of the Super Morning Show, Kujo Yang Singh, there is no evidence of wrongdoing before him.
There had been the jailing of various Chinese nationals by the Takwa Circuit Court. We had 2 Chinese nationals thrown in for 25 years. Because the law, current legal regime, requires that if a foreigner is engaged in such activities, the minimum penalty is or punishment is 20 years. And for a Ghanaian, 15 years minimum in jail.
Now, because you mentioned Aisha Wang,
yes,
and the difficulty you faced in getting her convicted, difficulty you surmounted.
Yes.
I must then ask, if even Aisha Wang, who had never been seen on a mining site, was successfully convicted, why not Akunta Mining that was captured on video in forest reserves mining?
I have not seen any video. Indeed, I think that if indeed there's such a video, that it will be, with all respect, a little bit irresponsible on the part of the media for them not to even furnish me with a video.
You're saying I've not come across...
Yes, and the last time I was actually speaking on the matter on Joy FM, I indicated that no docket has been presented to me in respect of Akunta Mining. And indeed, the gentleman who was speaking, all of the panelists actually confirmed that, his information was wrong. No, yes, he has information, no docket has been presented to me.
The absence of
Well, that's the Attorney General, Godfrey Adame. Meanwhile, the fight against Galamsey has come with serious backlash from civil and corporate organizations, with scores of Ghanaians registering their displeasure on how the issue has been managed. Speaking on the AM show earlier today, Acting Environmental Protection Agency Executive Director, the newly appointed one, John Kingsley Krugu, has indicated that the environmental protection agencies must be strategic in the delivery of their duties, adding that the fight against Galamsey has not undermined their Akufo-Addo governance.
The Galamsey has not defeated the president. I can tell you that he's not very happy at where we are. He believes that we can do more, we can do much better, and he keeps pushing us to the limit to say that, look, you guys, you got to get the results out. You got to make sure that we make the needed progress. But I can also tell you that they made the infrastructure that has been laid down, the framework that has been put in place, the coordination, and I can repeat this, the long-term view. He says that, look, So let me make it easier for you. Let me make it simpler for you. He's happy with the military approach. He says it's firefighting. Certain things cannot wait. You can't wait to have a committee to kill a.
That's Dr. John Kingsley Kruger, is the newly appointed EPA Executive Director. Let's turn our attention to education now. And the Ministry of Education says government is working at improving the standards of food provided in the various senior high schools. While admitting the challenges associated with the school feeding program, the Education Ministry's Public Relations Officer, Kwesi Kwatin, said the food served to the students are of good quality and allayed fears of parents who are worried about the awards consuming while in school. Well, my colleague Kenneth Jesse is on tour with the minister. I must say that this tour is coming just at the time that we had put out a promo on free SHS, our investigative pieces that we're going to be airing shortly on the Joy News channel. So Kenneth Jesse is with the team and will join us shortly with details of what we are learning. But they've been to Laboni Secondary School, and after their breakfast, we've been interacting with the girls' prefect.
The food is always balanced, but then there are slight instances where it's not balanced. It's just once a while. But then I think we would need more of the balancing of the food.
What instances are there not balanced diet, and what do you term by a balanced food? Okay, so according to what we've been taught as students, a balanced food is a food that contains all the essential nutrients and it's at their right proportions. We would need, maybe when we are taking water, we will need egg to each person, but then now it's no more, so we pray, we are hoping that they bring it back, but then for the rest we think it's okay.
That's the girls' prefect of Laboni Secondary School. Now, in an alarming revelation, it's come to light that numerous students in some schools are grappling with the harsh reality of barely receiving a single plate of nourishing food. While this disconcerting scenario is just one facet of the myriad of challenges that has hit the implementation of the free SHS system in the country. In our latest expose titled Empty Plate, the free SHS promise, we delve into schools where certain students are struggling to secure even a modest and nutritionally adequate meal.
Sometimes they'll give you Gary, don't give you beans. They'll give you beans, they don't give you the Gary. So a school that is not having even 900 students is supposed to have 3 bags a day to feed 900 students.
Every night, these children go to bed burdened with thoughts about what they will eat when they wake up to a new day.
It's all about the quantity, the jollof too quantity, very small. And then the amount of sauce they serve per table, they are sitting on the table. Very small. Some people don't even get most of the times.
It is no fault of theirs that the government that promised their parents free education is unable to provide enough food to feed their youthful appetites.
And sometimes kinky. The kinky they give us stew or sugar with no fish.
Empty Plate, the free SHS promise. Coming soon on Joy News.
This is the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We're also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. The Midday News made possible by Petrol Sol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Sol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. Where Duraplus goes, water flows. We return from the break with sports, and after 10 years after the Brazil fiasco, former Youth and Sports Minister Elvis Ifriankra opens up on the $3 million cash saga.
They said no, unless we see physical cash.
Before they will train. And that broke you.
So we took the money to them, and you saw them, they were kissing the money. You saw them, you saw the videos.
GoTV is stepping up your entertainment from the 15th of January at no extra cost to you. If you are on GoTV Value, upgrade to GoTV Plus to watch GoTV Max. Already on GoTV Plus, upgrade to GoTV Max to enjoy GoTV Super. And if you are on GoTV Max, upgrade to GoTV Super to enjoy the best of the best on GoTV Super Plus. Don't wait. Step up your entertainment today. It's on us. GoTV. Love it. T's and C's apply.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
Expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time for sports. Achu is here. Hello.
Hi, Emifa. Good afternoon. We've got 6 Ghanaian boxers in Italy for the first Paris 2024 Boxing Olympic qualifier for the year. We've got 2 ladies on that contingent and 4 gentlemen. Before we tell you about who is in Italy, here's Coach Ofori Asare of the Black Bombers.
But whatever the situation, we want to at least go there and qualify 1 or 2 boxers for the Olympics Games. Because the old nation, we are yet to have a team to qualify, and so we want to be the first team to qualify at least. It is not all the team that is going to Paris qualification. There are some that will be left back here, and when they come back, they will join the team as well. In the tournament, we are only aiming to get into the qualification zone.
Well, there are 4 boxers from the Black Bombers team. Theophilus Kpakpala is a flyweight boxer. Samuel Techi is fighting in the light welterweight category. Alfred Cote is in the light middleweight division. Jonathan Tete, light heavyweight. And Mark Kojovi Ahunjo in the heavyweight division. So 5 men and 2 ladies. Janet Akwa is a flyweight boxer, and Anatu Mohammed is a lightweight boxer. Unfortunately, Tilapia is in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Achu. Now, the Asante Heneo 2-4 say to the second as edge contractors working on hospital facilities in the region to speed up work. He said this after touring the sites of some of the stored facilities there. Nana Boachi Dankwa joined the tour and has filed this report.
Utumfo has been leading the HICATH project through a $10 million public fundraising exercise to renovate traditional wards of the hospital. Samuel Edubuache is the chairman of the HICATH project.
Konfanoche is not going to leak any further when it rains. The king is very pleased. The progress of work so far, because of the space concerns, the hospital is still in session. So what is happening is that we'll be doing it in phases.
The Asante Hene later inspected the Siwa Hospital project, which is to serve as a regional hospital. The facility, already 90% complete, is left unattended with deplorable roads impeding its usage. Dr. Emmanuel Tinkrine is the Ashanti Regional Health Director.
The hospital has been completed for the past 1 year. We need a transformer that can power all the machines.
Nana Boache Dankwa Adams reports there. Now, former Youth and Sports Minister Elvis Efiankra has revealed reasons behind money airlifted to Brazil a decade later, following President Akufo-Addo's remarks on Ghana's 2023 Africa Cup of Nations performance. In an upcoming interview on PM Personality Profile, Efiankra discusses the problematic attitude of black star players, warning against allowing individuals to hold the country to ransom.
You don't train. There's science, okay? Before every match, there's a number of times you should train, heavy training, trial match, light training, rest, so that your body and your muscle memory will be conditioned. If you lose one, it will affect you. So I told them all these things. You train, your money will come. Just train. Because if you don't train, you would have cheated the country. They said, no, unless we see physical cash.
Before they will train. And that broke you.
So we took the money to them. And you saw them, they were kissing the money. You saw them, you saw the videos. They were kissing the money. No player, no Ghanaian should be allowed to hold the country to ransom in this way.
You can catch the full interview, PM Personality Profile with Aisha Ibrahim later this evening at 9 p.m. on the Joy News channel and all our social media platforms. And it's the first day of March. All is set for the launch of Ghana Month on Joy at exactly 2 p.m. today. Well, there's more in this report by Jackie and Smayabwa.
It's the 10th year of Ghana Month on Joy. Although the official launch is today, a new show projecting the country's culture, Focus on Ghana, hosted by Maxwell Agbaba, started in the last week of February.
I love King Bruce, but one of the things he said in this song, he said, Kakabo Jata Boom Limpo. Hey, Lions Den. Oh my boy.
Simon, menta make wake, keke no jisumo buta moshe, nikaja ke bobo jata blumimpo, nke bo bakweke.
There was the reenactment of the famous independence speech by Kwame Nkrumah at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park yesterday.
Ghana is free forever.
The Joy FM Superstation show took the lead this morning with the broadcast of the show in local languages. Say It Right was also in the local language.
Mepede mechirehon bosuma owo afenimu nyinara ma ibesa kano wo fantum. January, Sanda, February, Kwakwa, March, Ebo.
Programs manager Adam Naite says, aside from the Eastern Camp Adventure, Joy FM listeners will get to enjoy 99.7% of local music this month. She has also been given details on what the launch will look like today.
Ansah Kwao will be hosting the launch, and he will be joined by our special guest, Chief Executive Officer of Heritage Development, Mr. Akunu Dake will be here. The President of the Musicians Union of Ghana, Bessa Simons, will be here as well.
Tickets for the Eastern Camp Adventure on the 16th and 17th March are also selling fast. Listen to one of our patrons, Solomon, who has already bought his ticket.
So I say I'm really excited to be part of this Joy FM Eastern Camp Adventure.
Ghana Month promises to be exciting.
And that's Jacqueline and Sumaya giving us MNJ today with Ghana Month. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Akbena Mikata, ECG reconnects Parliament after settling part of 23 million debt. Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil is up next. Living in Expectancy.